Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to H Capture Live. I'm your host, Harry Bridgeforth, and I have with me a very special guest, good friend of mine, entrepreneur, CEO, all around artist, good guy, legend, Mr. June Archer. How you doing, bro?
Peace, brother. How you doing?
I gave you one of those. We already
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This is a long time coming,
yeah.
and it's an honor. I'll be honest with you. It is an honor.
Oh, thank you, bro. We already talked. You already know. You one of my highest inspirations, and a lot of the stuff that we talked about, and even moving a certain way, I kind of, look to you for advice. I'll be picking your brain on and off camera, so you know how it is. But I really, like I said, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, and truly, that means a lot. It means more than you know. So I appreciate that, and I hope that I continue to give you the best example and the best version of myself moving forward to continue to inspire and motivate all that you are trying to do and accomplish. So once again, I don't take that lightly, and I appreciate it.
So thank you, bro. So a lot of people, they don't know, the ones that know, they probably know parts of what you do. So this is like, we're going to ask you a couple questions just to get general, because you do a lot of different things. If people don't know, you're involved in music, you're involved in movies, you're involved in entrepreneur, investing, technology, clothing. I got to get one of your beads. I got to get one of them. Merchandise. And see, I'm gonna buy one this Friday. I told you I was gonna get one. I'm gonna get one. So I'm a man of my word. But just you're involved in a lot of different things, and a lot of times, a lot of people that are trying to get to these spots, including myself. So I like to give this platform to kind of help people learn how to get there and certain things to, pitfalls and stuff like that. So we're gonna ask you a couple questions, and then we're gonna the other part is gonna be like a rapid fire. I call it the rapid fire questions. It's like this or that, and then we'll do a little closing, and we'll be good to go. All right.
I appreciate it. Let's go for it.
Let's go. All right. So first question, how did you get into the entertainment industry?
All right. How I got into the entertainment industry was I had a good friend of mine who started out in seventh grade for me, eighth grade for him. We started a group called Junior Edition because we wanted to be like this group called New Edition, who we really, really, really loved. And so we would practice all of their steps, all of their songs, all while.
I know them pretty well. I know.
Yeah. While we were in jazz show choir, and they call it Glee Club now, but that's how we got our chops to learn barbershop harmony as a quartet. And in '89, we won this competition to take us to the world famous Apollo Theater, first place prize. And we were going back and forth to the Apollo Theater, one top dog amateur night. So one day, Ralph Cooper Jr., who was the host with his dad, Ralph Cooper Sr., introduced us to Biz Markie. God bless the brother Biz Markie. And Biz Markie introduced us to Hank and Keith Shockley of the Bomb Squad. And at that time, they were working with Public Enemy. They were working with Ice Cube. Unbeknownst to us, we're going back and forth in the studio with them, now realizing the music that we were creating would be pretty much the blueprint of what they did for this group. Where we were trying to figure out who is this group that they not working with us to work with them. It's like this group called BBD, and we're like, what's a BBD? Long story short, it was Velvet DeVoe, and that was our first lesson into, being in the music business. And we just kept pushing and pushing, man. We came from, Hartford, Windsor, Connecticut, Springfield, New Haven, and we didn't have the Apollo Theater there, right? Which is why, later on in my story, I'll probably share that I created the Apollo Theater in terms of it being, the Bushnell Theater in Hartford, Connecticut. But we got our deal by just compound interest, working hard on our craft, singing and dancing almost every day, right? Watching New Edition. I got almost every magazine cover, magazine article that you could think of that they were in, from Beat It, Ride On magazine, Vibe magazine, anywhere they were in any magazine, any TV show, we videotaped it. We just loved just their showmanship, their artistry. We love the trajectory that we're on. Just we wanted to be them until one day we run into Full Force and they tell us we gotta change our name, and that's when we came up with the name Room Service. And finally, we got together with producer All Star, who was at the time producing remixes for SWV. He was doing Joe, so many countless others that we ended up working with him on. Created an album, got an album deal with Elektra Records, signed by Sylvia Rhone, the amazing, incomparable Sylvia Rhone and Merlin Bob. And that's where Room Service was birthed. And the crazy part about it, bro, was we got the opportunity to be on tour with New Edition, opening up for him, which was
and look at it. Look at that.
And look at it, right? And throughout that story, I had met Michael Bivins, and he had, who is still today one of my biggest fans and like my mentor, my big sister, Deidre Tate, was running Biv 10 Records. And I had met her when she was, on a road with the Good Girls, and they came to my hometown at the local radio station. And, me and my boy DJ Chaotic went over there, and I just fell in love with everything that they were doing. And that was during the process before we got the record deal. So I always kept in contact with her, and wherever she was and Biv was there, like I would connect and we would rub elbows, and he would just pour into me.
That's how he is. Shout out to the fan.
He has
always that's always positive love.
He is who he says he is, bro. And he has poured into me up to that point, and it was just amazing to see that day come true. That I reached out to both of them, like, we got the record deal, right? And it was just like learning everything. But throughout that journey, bro, I learned what it is to be an entrepreneur from Biv. To be multidimensional, right? To be multifaceted, to be able to pivot, to be able to reinvent yourself. So if you look at my story, you look at anything that I've done over the years, you look at the businesses I started, the events I've started, things that I've created, the blueprint was Michael Bivins. I tell him all the time. He never believes me. He's like,
he ain't gonna take that credit like that.
But you know how he is. He don't. I tell him all the time, and I was privileged to shoot a piece for his documentary, and it was such a humbling experience. And I admit it on camera, like, bro, everything that I've done up to this point was either because of your tutelage or your example, not only as a performer, not only as a human being, as a husband, as a father, as an entrepreneur, just as an all-around great person. So that's how we got our record deal, man. And it was a great experience, man, just to be able to have a win for the hometown.
Because it's CT. A lot of people they don't shout out that, or they don't really know. They kind of keep it like, oh, it ain't cool to be in that one little middle state. Like a little state in the middle.
We got a lot of talent. We got a lot of talent. And so that's the story of Room Service, man. But it's a beautiful story. One day somebody's gonna do a documentary on it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done. That's what's up, man. I love hearing, like, because a lot of times you'll see, I always say to the rest of the people that have been on the show or people I interact with, because like I said, I deal with actors and artists and all the different people, but a lot of people, they see the end result, they never see the beginning, and they don't really respect the middle. It's like they want to get here, but they don't really understand you got to start here and you got to work through this to get there. So, it's a testament to success, not only just the overall where you're at now, but like over the years, I've seen you do countless different things and open different things. Like I said, there's as much as Mike is a mentor to me, same way. Like, you know what I mean? I see guys that are doing it and they're keeping it humble, keeping it positive. You're inspiring people, and it's kind of like it's a trail effect. You know what I mean? You got something from him, now you're gonna pass it on, and I respect that. I respect when someone's gonna give something back. They don't just hold on to it. So that's kudos to Mike and kudos.
But you can't.
It's not right.
When you're blessed, when you are blessed, you're supposed to be a blessing to others. You're not supposed to covet any of the information that you get, any of the experiences that you're able to live through your journey. You're supposed to share that, because you never know who you're going to inspire or motivate. Do what you're doing, or do even more.
So that's what I mean. Like it's a crazy thing to actually see the stories of everybody, and then at the same time, it's kind of like you relate some things to yourself, but if you're smart about when you interact, you utilize that knowledge. Knowledge is more powerful than anything else because you can take that and then apply it to other stuff. You know what I mean? If someone gave you $1 million, but you don't know how to take care of your money, you're gonna be broke. You know what I mean? Like the knowledge of knowing how to take care of $100 is useful because you can utilize that later on in life. You know what I mean? So I always take the little gems. I call them gems because Michael dropped a gem, and I'll just be like, "What? What did you?" And then, oh, I get it. Okay, I got it. June will drop a gem. Oh, what? What you doing that? Oh, and then other people, I take my little pieces, and then some people will say, "Oh, I need some advice." I remember that was the first time I even started thinking about doing something like this. Was I watched your show, and then I also was in the Army, and people kept asking me for advice. They kept like come up to me. I'm the older dude. They're like, hey, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, I should probably make something to kind of like help somebody else, and like I don't know how it's gonna affect them. God was kind of saying you need to do this, so I just said I'm gonna do it and see what happens. You know what I mean? So any of the people that I interact with, like you, I try to share your stories with other people because, like you said, you don't know who it's gonna affect. And if I got a platform that I can utilize it, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try. So going into that, you started a lot of different foundations, right? But how did you start your foundation? Like how did you start that?
Well, the June Archer Foundation came as a spinoff of the June Archer School of Arts.
Mm-hmm.
When the pandemic hit, I had a good friend of mine, shout out to Antoine Debnam, who had a grant, and he was at Jamoke Academy, and he said to me, "Bro, I'm having problems engaging young folks in my class. I only had 3 students that are interested in learning." I think at the time it was something in technology. He says, "You know what? No one ever sits down and talks to you and understands your story and where you've been. You've got so much to share. Like, you should talk about your journey." I'm like, "Man, these kids don't want to know what I'm talking about." He's like, "Yeah, you know what? Why don't you? I got an open house. Can you just tell them about the music business?" And I'm like, "All right, I could shoot a video and talk about it. Yeah, I'll do that for a class." And I shot the video, Harold. I sent it to him, and like it would say like today was Wednesday. I shot it to him. He got the meeting on Friday for open house. He hits me over the weekend. He's like, yo, this video, man. And I'm like,
like what happened?
What happened, man? Like,
what happened?
You want me to do it over? He's like, yo, I gotta talk to you. Like, this is crazy. And I'm like, if you just tell me what you need me to do, I'll do it. I have everything right here. I'll just reshoot it and I'll send it to you. He's like, you got 5 minutes to talk real quick? And I'm like, absolutely, because I just want to get this over and done with.
Yeah. Whatever's wrong with, I'll try to.
I wasn't even certain I wanted to do it, Harold. Like, I get him. Yeah, what's up, man? He's like, yo, we got a problem. Like, but I told you, I can fix it. He's like, no, you don't understand. We got over 105 kids signed up for the program. He's like, it's a problem, but a great problem to have. And I'm like, why you didn't leave with that?
You didn't leave with that. Yeah. You got me all nervous, anxiety, blood pressure rising. Yeah.
So we go and I literally set up a record company in the classroom. We have a president of the label, a vice president of the label. We have the A&R department. We've got artist development. We've got publicity. We got promotions. And all the what we call student creatives and student executives found themselves in a position. And we encourage the young women, especially our young women of color,
of course.
to take leadership roles.
Yep. It's not enough. It's
not enough because we want them to get into that mindset.
Yep.
So we did that for a semester, and it took off. And keep in mind, this is at the height of COVID, and kids are on camera. Some kids, they got their camera off. Some kids, they got babies in their hand. They're feeding kids. Like this is like we were just getting into this thing, but the engagement was so dope. And he came to me after, he's like, yo, you got to keep doing this. Like, another budget. He's like, yo, you know what'd be funny? If you started a performing arts school. And I'm like, that'd be dope. I said, yeah, that'd be dope. The Junior Arts School of Arts. He said, yeah. I said, man, I'm kidding with you.
Yeah, that's a good name. Yeah,
I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally, at that moment, started the Junior Archer School of Arts. We started off with Jamoki Academy, went to 5 schools, we're up to 13 now. And I realized that there are schools that want the program that can't afford it.
Yeah.
Right? They can't afford it, period, or they can't afford it in total. Yep. And I said, you know what? I need to raise money. I've always raised money throughout all of my 26 years of being a philanthropist, whether it was a Junior Archer Celebration of Life, whether it was 100 Men of Color Black Tie Gala Awards, whether it's the 100 Women of Color Gala Awards. Yep. And I would raise money and give it away. And I said, you know what? Now's the time to put that money in the foundation to carry on a legacy to help schools and student creatives and student executives be able to afford this opportunity, to give them the materials and put them in the environment. And that's how the Junior Archer Foundation was started.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, like it's not even, you can't even put it into words. The effect that you have when helping other people, and you have like a school or you have a area where they can go and they don't have to worry about like stressing about paying for stuff. Like that changes so many different things. I think the hardest part about anything within our communities is the lack of resources, and then the ability to get that resource. You know what I mean? You have a lot of people that want to do stuff and they're like, I can't afford it. You know, let alone just going to college, but just you having a school that maybe caters to you. You wanted to go to music school, but you don't know how to play any instruments. Oh, I want to be an AR, but I don't know what a business is. I got to go to school to do this. I got to go to school to that. It's loans, and they get caught up in the world, and you know, you're done. So just having that as a resource, let alone if people can or can't do it, it's just the fact that it's there. It's actually a real tangible thing. You know what I mean? That's, like I said, I only aim and hope blessings and more. Go to put like 14, 15, 16, 20 schools, whatever. You know what I mean?
I see this growing exponentially, man. It's really dope because it allows us to reimagine education and give student creators and student executives real world experience, to give them real world, people that come into the classroom that work at these labels, that work at these radio stations, these television stations, and give them gems, like you said, sharing their stories, sharing what they learned, who they learned from, where they went to school, if they went to school. And
it's like that makes you change. That makes you change how you're like, oh, well, wait, you didn't go to college? Well, where'd you go? Oh, I went to this school. I did this, this, and that. And that's where, so I could do that. And then it's like, oh, your perception changes. You know, once your perception changes on something, it's like, that's it. So, you know what I mean? Keep doing it, bro. Like I said, I've experienced on both ends, the learning, going to the awards, being 100 Men of Color, like that stuff changed how I perceive things, you know? And I look at like how you told me before, you know, you got to look at yourself as you dope, you know what I mean? Like you a dope person in your mind. So like, if I see that and I'm thinking about it that way, and there's still room, and I get inspired to do something else, it's my responsibility to be able to share it and help somebody else. So, like I said, continue your testament, bro. I only aim and wish the best of blessings for you, because you've already started it. Keep it moving. You know what I mean?
We're gonna keep going. I promise you that.
That's what's up. The next one is, a lot of people, if they don't know, you're on the show This Is 50, right? And you introduce and interview a lot of actors and stuff. So how did you get that gig? For those, and like, you could go through the strategic pieces of how that happened.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, the great part of our journey begins with understanding that there are degrees of connection, not degrees of separation. And when you look at, once again, I have to give him his flowers. When you look at someone like Bev, who taught me, man, you got to shake hands, kiss babies. When you go into the room, you want to light the room up. You want to command that room. And that's what he does. That's what I've learned. I've learned that for decades now. I've learned that from him. And I go into, I'm a lover of people, man. I'm a lover of people. And when you rub elbows and you meet people, you try to make connections. Right? I made a connection through my cousin Julian. Shout out to him, Slang Inc. who met 50 Cent when he was signed to Columbia Records, when my cousin was actually a designer over at Columbia Records doing album design. And one day he brings me with him to drop off the cover of a mixtape cover for 50, and he introduces me to Shy Money. Once again, opportunities, environment. I exchange information with Shy Money, and we become cool. And I hit him up, and at that time, I'm managing, producer All-Star. I'm running his label, Starside. I'm the president over there, and I'm trying to pitch and sell records, and we're producing records for different people. You're trying to sell them, and I hit him like, "Hey, what are you working on?" He's like, "Yo, I'm looking for records for this movie, this album, Get Rich or Die Trying." I'm like, "All right, so I'm coming in to play some records for you."
Yeah.
And I came play some records for him, and he's like, "Yo, I got you. Like, I'm gonna take care of you." Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, the song is in the movie. The song is on the album. $250,000 later.
Yeah. Good. I'm good.
Good. But it was a relationship, and through going to the office all the time, I created other relationships with other people that were on staff. One of those people was my man. Shout out to him, Jeremy Bettis, who's been with 50 from day one. And one day I see Jay Bettis on the street, and I'm like, "Yo, what up, man? What you doing?" And he's like, "All is good, man. What's up?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm over at Sony doing this stuff with Troy Oliver, working on these different records. Manager him now, like, yo, come through so you can hear what's going on." So he comes through. We had Sony Music Publishing in the studio. He's like, "Yo, this is dope." And I'm like, "So what you up to?" He's like, "Yeah, the content stuff." I'm like, "Yo, you know what? I just got off this motivational speaking tour with E.T. and Trent Shelton. I would love. Can I do some like motivational videos?" He's like, "We don't really do that, but you know what? I was like, I just want to do like 60 seconds.
Yeah. Let me get one. Let me get one.
Come through and let's film something." So I went in thinking I'm gonna do about 10 60-second videos of inspiration and motivation. And I went in and just dove right in. Harold, I went in, boom, 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 knocked one out, put on a different outfit, boom, boom, knock, change the hat, put the pad, knock that out, and put it out. But it was during the time where All Hip Hop, World Star, and This Is 50 not everybody was ratchet, but this was like,
the
foolishness was out there.
Yeah.
And the foolishness was what was getting clickbait. And that was what was selling. And one day, Jay Bettis was like, "Yo, whatever you do, don't read the comments." And I'm like, "Man, that ain't gonna bother me none. I'm cool. I'm cool." So I go through and I'm like reading the comments. And I see I see yo, who's this mo up here talking all this positivity with the bow tie on, man? Get that out of here. I was like, like
B? Oh,
I'm a ball. Like what? And I said, and I made it. Here's a thing. Here's a gem. When you know that something is in your spirit, that the Most High, or whoever you pray to, gives you an idea or a dream, see it all the way through. And I pressed past those comments to the point where, once again, compound interest. I just kept going hard. 60
that was
seconds.
the test. Those comments
in 2 minutes.
That was the test to see if he was really like
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I started to see the comments change, and people saying, "No, hold on, let him talk. Let's see what he got." And people were more used to Jack Thriller at the time. He's very ratchet. He's very off the cuff. He's whatever comes to his mind, and that's his thing. That's his shtick. And one day, Tony Yayo is in the office, and I'm like, I want to do something different. Yo, Yayo, can I interview you, man? Because a lot of people don't even know how dope you are, bro. And this just speaks to the fact that now he has a podcast. He's always been that dope. And I'm like, yo, I just want to interview you. He was like, all right, come on, June, I got it. He sat down. And this is before Donald Trump was elected president. And we're talking. He mentions it. And I'm like, all right, now you bugging out.
Yeah.
See, that's where you're going to get people wrong. But everything else was good. Yeah,
cut that footage.
And we left it out. And I got to go back and watch it. But I knew that I had something because I wanted to tap into things that people have that they could share that will inspire and motivate people. And Tony Yayo is such an inspiration. If you don't get caught up in everything else.
Yeah.
Coming from his core, from his spirit. Shout out to Yayo. That interview took off. And I'm like, yo, we got something here.
Yeah, we got something. Yeah.
I started calling all my other friends that are notables. I hit Styles P up. Styles P came through. I hit name it, I hit him. DeVal and his wife, the Ellises. I hit everybody I knew. Started interview after interview, and I'm like, yo, got something here. We don't gotta talk about nothing ratchet. Just share your story. Let's tap into your humanity, and we're gonna inspire and motivate people. And it just took off to the point where now, their publicist books stuff for me. Shout out to Tavia. I get my own stuff. She taps into all the press junkets. And now I just became the go-to, like, hey, Stars is dropping a new Power joint out of the series. So 50 was like, yo, June will do all of those. So I took all of those, and who else? Own, BET, like everybody's been throwing me press junkets, and I'm so grateful because it afforded me the opportunity to once again put that compound interest perspective into practice and keep working and keep working and keep working. Where now people are like, yo, I want to interview with him. Like,
yeah, because it's worth like the sad part about a lot of times is it's almost like you got to gain someone's respect, and you may not have it between them, but if they respect this other person, like, wait a minute, let me figure out about this guy. And then when they start researching, like, oh, I didn't know he did this and that and that and that. And then it's like, okay, now I want one. And then once you get that, it's like, okay, well, now I'm a commodity. Now it's like a supply and demand thing, going back to economics. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's a trip, because when you get the call like, yo, Tito Jackson wants to interview you.
You're like, wait, what?
Sean Paul want to interview with you. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Because you still got that mentality. It isn't like, oh, nah, I'm busy. I got to talk to my publicist. It's like, oh, really? I got it.
I want it all until when they say my name is in between Steve Harvey and Nick Cannon. Like that's how I'm working. So that's how the This Is 50 came about. And now we're just trying to figure out ways to get to the next level, man. That's it.
That's what's up, man. Like I said, I'm gonna try to give them a little bit of everything, because I can't pick you all night. I ain't gonna keep you up all night, but I'm gonna try to give everybody that's watching, the audience, and everything, the little gems and little pieces, and let them do their due diligence. So along with that, this is another aspect. I'm grateful to be alumni. You starting the 100 Men and 100 Women of Color, not only in our community, but just the reality that this is an award ceremony that showcases individuals of all different industries, right? How did that come about?
Absolutely. So 2013, 100 Men of Color was birthed because I wanted, after watching what happened to Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown, I wanted to change the narrative of how Black and brown men were viewed. I wanted to change how Black and brown men felt about themselves and felt about those who looked like them. And during that time, I have a friend, Amy Saylor at the Connecticut Science Center, that called me and asked me, hey, can I help with getting the word out and raising money and awareness for the CT Science Center summer camp that had STEM attached to it. And she was just saying how there are no Black and brown boys and girls in this program. And I'm like, why is that? And as she's ready to say it, she's like, money. And I'm like, all right, but how much money are we talking?
Yeah, like what?
How much does it cost? And as soon as she said $600, I said to myself, the last thing that a single mom or a family who lives in the inner city is going to spend money on during the summer is something that they don't understand, and that's STEM, right? They're trying to put food on the table. They're trying to save money to get clothes for you when you have to go back to school. this is the last thing they're gonna spend $600 on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take that STEM summer camp at
Mm-hmm.
CT Science Center, you take Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown, and you say, all right, we have to do better. I literally wrote down a list of 100 men that stood on their shoulders, that if it weren't for them giving me gems, words of advice, encouragement,
Yep.
I wanted to give them their flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out to the community. I said, hey, what do you think about this list? I went to numerous people, right? It wasn't even a nomination thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It was this is the list. Tell me what you think. I went from the mayor, I went from entrepreneur, CEO, presidents, owners of different businesses. And I brought the event to the Connecticut Science Center, and I reached out to Men's Warehouse, and I said, listen, I'm going to promote Men's Warehouse. I just want to send people over there because I want Black men in tuxedos. I want Black and brown men in suits.
Yeah, there is no sloppy stuff when we go to these.
None. And they said, all right, we're going to give them 40% off, and we're going to donate $7 off of every purchase or every rental, and we're going to give it to you. I said, no, don't give it to me.
Yeah.
Give it right over straight to the Connecticut Science Center for these kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you're doing two things. You're giving those people who've never had a tuxedo or never had a suit, 40% off.
Oh, yeah.
And in return, the Science Center is going to benefit because they get $7 off of everything. Right?
Yeah.
We get to that Science Center, bro, and I tell the men, I want you to bring a wallet to gift it to a young man, or I want you to wear a bow tie or a tie, or bring a bow tie or tie, to gift it to a young man. Because that young man is going to remember the first wallet he ever got, or the first tie or bow tie he got from Mr. Bridgeforth. What, like, dude, that's my first wallet, like my first wallet ever, right? Imagine saying, yo, I got my wallet from Mr. Bridgeforth. I got my wallet from Mike Bivens. I got my wallet from Eric LaSalle. What does that mean for that young man later on, 10, 15 years later, who ends up becoming an honoree because he's an entrepreneur, because he's a professor, because he's a CEO, because he's in law enforcement, because he's a doctor, he's a neurosurgeon, because he's a judge. What does that mean? You become a blessing exponentially. It was so dope. Once again, here goes his name again, Mike Bivens. He gets honored the second year that we bring it to the Bushnell Theater. And he gets up on stage. You know how he does. Hold on. I got it. Hold on.
I remember it. I was there.
Let me grab this mic.
Yep.
And he says, oh, next year, bro, you got to do the 100 women of color. And the place goes crazy. And I'm like, that wasn't rehearsed.
That wasn't. Nah, we did. Yeah.
We didn't even discuss that. Wait a second.
Mike, pump your brakes. Hold up.
Bro. I realized in hindsight, he knew how broad my shoulders were because he's been the force to show me what you could do. So when I look back, I'm like, oh, he knew it was something.
He knew he was ready. Yeah, he knew he was ready.
Because here's the thing, bro. Sometimes people see greatness in you when you can't see greatness in yourself. Sometimes people see the dream in you when you can't see the dream within 5 feet in front of you. And that's how the 100 Women of Color was birthed. And it wasn't intentional to not do it initially. The idea was women always get their flowers.
I
needed men of color to see, because we were being hurt at an alarming rate.
We get hit all over the place.
Right? When you talk about the countless men of color who've been killed by law enforcement or killed by one another, it was important and imperative to do that in 2013. So when 2015 came, it was only right to do it, to say, all right, now's the time, it's appropriate, because you are the background and the backbone and the pillars of our community, ladies. and now it's time to honor you. And both these events are amazing. This year, in 2023, 10th anniversary of the 100 Men of Color. When people told me, June, you're going to run out of people, June. That's such a big number. But what did I tell you earlier?
Yep.
When he gives it to you, see it all the way through, because no one else is going to see it.
Yep.
It's not for them. It wasn't meant for them, so they're not going to understand it. They didn't wake up in the middle of the night
have
saying,
that thought, and you're like, wait, what? Yeah.
I had to see it all the way through. When people are like, yo, you're going to run out of people, bro. Like, you can't run out of people.
Yeah.
I thought about this already. You can't. If there's a young man who is 15 years old 10 years ago, and he's 25 today, he can be great.
Yeah.
He should be inspired. That's why I said, bring your kids, because you never know. They're going to plant that seed. That 18-year-old woman, young woman, is going to be an adult. And what does she do after being in that environment and being inspired? Once again, she become a doctor, she become a lawyer, she become a judge, she become a CEO, she's opened up her own business, she's created some platform, like, so she's gonna be honored. You can't run out of people, bro.
Nope.
You're not supposed to, because you're planting a seed of greatness. So in a year, you're gonna see that greatness. So imagine in 5 years when you plant that seed and you put some water on it and you put some sunlight on it and you speak to it, what's gonna happen?
That's what's
Am I lying?
I seen it. I seen it happen. I seen it grow. I seen where it is now, where it's possibly going. No. That's the whole point of this type of show, is to make sure that, like, other people, it kind of just changes their perspective. Because you don't know, like you said, you don't know, you have gifts that other people don't, because God gives you these gifts. But it's really up to you to utilize them. He can give you everything and you could just say, oh, I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to try it. But the reality is, if you have the will and you're looking, you'll hear and you'll see. You know, you'll literally see the opportunity that is given to you. It's just up to you to take it. You know what I mean? So,
and those are what I call road signs. Are you paying attention?
Yeah. Are you paying attention? Yeah.
Right? They come in different forms. And then sometimes, because some people are humble to a fault, or some people are just oblivious. You have some people that I could have looked at Mike and been like, nah, Mike,
I ain't gonna talk to him. Nah,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I appreciate you, but I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing
right?
that.
And then you don't have this other amazing event that has touched women of color throughout this whole New England region.
And that's the other thing. It's like, it's the New England, it's in Connecticut, and then it's branching out, but it's touching so many other people, because these people are not all from just stay here. You know what I mean? They stay and they travel overseas, and they're like, oh yeah, you're part of it. Oh yeah, it's like, because it's an alumni. You know what I mean? Like, you're part of a group of other men and other women. So it's like, I know guys that I talk to online. I'm like, I never even met you, but you're one of them. Oh yeah, I was 2017. Oh, that's what's up. Okay. You got your little plaque, you got your awards, you got your, you know what I mean? So you feel like you're a brother already. I don't even know you, but you are, because I know you was doing something. You know what I mean? So
that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
That's a beautiful. You just gave me an idea. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do.
Get that gem. Tell you, get that gem.
Got the gem. I know what I'm gonna do. Because there's some classes that have pins, some that don't. But I think for this 10th anniversary, we're gonna create a 10th anniversary pin for all the past alumni that show up. So I want to see you there.
Oh, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there. And like I said, that inspired me a lot, because it's like, even if you're doing stuff, you don't really, I guess in certain instance, you're doing stuff for you, but you're not really paying attention to how much you're influencing other people and how much they see that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you just doing your regular thing. You go on, you want to be a CEO, you're trying to do a school, you're trying to create foundations because that's what you want to do, but you don't really understand how much of an impact it's impacting somebody else that's already doing stuff too. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's an influence that's not, it can't be talked about, and it can't be like gauged. It's like, that event affected my life and totally different. It just made my perception of things change. and I was already trying to like do a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? So it gives you validation to a lot of the stuff that you was already trying. It's like somebody else pays attention to you too. So that's a key thing.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
So with all the things that we talked about, hopefully somebody they understood that and got some gems. What's your future plans for any business ventures if you want to share any of that stuff with audience?
Right now, for the immediate future, for the next year to 5 years, I am an advisor to an app called Wellness U that helps with not only just anxiety but mental health.
Here we go.
Especially for student athletes. So people could check that out. Wellness U. We also just launched a clothing line and jewelry line called Aquella. So go to aquella.com. And also I'm a board member and A&R for Use It Play, which is an online learning platform. So we're just looking to build those brands, just diversify my portfolio in terms of my reach into the universe. And with that, just pushing the June Archer School of Arts, building up the June Archer Foundation, and trying to just really reach these young people to give them hope, give them education, motivation, inspiration, and give them the tools and the combinations to be successful. So that is the goal for the next 5 years. And then who knows what men of color and women of color are going to do. I know that I did sign on and promised myself I'm going to do at least 10 years for men of color. So I don't know what's going to happen with that after 23. We'll have to see what it feels like.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, you made an impact, and like I said, you touched like thousands of people. You know what I mean? If not millions of people, because you don't know how many people they affected. You know what I mean? So it's
literally, this class will be 1,000 men.
Yeah. So like literally, that's just the men. That's what I mean.
That's just the men.
That's just the men. You know. Like even my wife, gosh, she's a woman of color, one of the 100 women, and she got her award too. But it's like we touch all the other people too, so it's like I can understand. You just gravitate for just one or two people. You touch thousands of people,
right? Because imagine how many people came to honor you, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And so, you make a great point, and that's what I say when I say, when you're blessed, you become a blessing. But that blessing is like exponentially greater because so many people are impacted or infected by just your honor. Right. So, so we'll see what happens, man. It's that's 1,800 altogether. You know what I mean? In 10 years, that's
crazy.
Saying
that's
something
crazy. That's when you say. That's when you say you're dope.
In that regard, I've been telling people, because I could be very humble to a fault. I did that.
Yeah, you did that. That's you. That ain't, you see what I mean?
I'm very competitive. Yeah. I don't know who else has done that.
Nah, that's why I said you got it. I give respect where it's due.
Hands down.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's what's up. So definitely send me the links to all that. Put it on the page. I'll put it out, promote every time I send any of these out. And the next section is going to be like some personal questions. It's going to be like more like what you like, cater to. Okay.
All right.
We call it the rapid fire questions. So it'll be like if you like hamburgers, hot dogs, which one do you like? So they get like a little taste of your decisions and what you like to do. All right. So first question, better franchise, Yankees or Red Sox?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna tell you why. My first ever professional sports game was Yankees versus Red Sox in Boston at Fenway Park. I had to be 12 years old. I couldn't tell you who won or who lost. But that day, those two teams have been my favorite. I think if you talk about from a business standpoint, Yankees have won a lot of championships, but Boston has brought some championships to New England. I would say I would lean more to New York. I love what they stand for when you talk about playing for the team on the front, so they remember the name on the back, right? Because they don't have their last names on the back of their jerseys. It's all about team. It's all about what we do and how we move as a culture. There's a culture with the Yankees. There's no facial, there's no hair.
Yeah, you gotta come correct. Yep.
Come correct. But it provides a culture of winning, a culture of uniformity, right? Yep. So I would say New York Yankees.
New York. All right.
But I root for both of them, though. I do root for both of them.
You gotta throw that in there.
Whoever don't make it to the playoffs, I root for the other one.
Root for the other one. All right. I'll let you get away with that one.
I appreciate it.
Better player, or best player, Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe.
What's up? Okay. Best or better artist, all around artist. Okay. Prince or Michael Jackson?
I'm gonna say MJ. I'm gonna go with MJ. I was an MJ fan. That's how I got from MJ to New Edition. Prince, there's nothing to take away from him. I did a Prince special like 5 years ago. Someone today told me that they just saw it. It's still playing. But you're talking about somebody who played the instruments, recorded himself, mixed it, mastered it, and performed it. Can't take nothing away from Prince. But when you talk about overall, when you look at the documentary of MJ, you see that, he didn't record himself. But when you talk about putting the music together, what instruments do what, how he brings it to life, there's nothing like a Michael Jackson concert, bro. Nothing. So I'm gonna have to lean with MJ on this one.
MJ. I mean, you can't lose with either one of them, right? You can't
you can't.
That's the reason why these questions are hard, because you can't.
See what I got here, right? You see, I got it ain't no disrespect to Prince, like it's right here.
Yeah. That's
but I patterned my game after MJ. It wasn't, I played Prince. But I patterned my game after. Yeah.
What's up? The next one is just kind of like movie-based stuff, common ground with a lot of things now. Are you a team Marvel or a team DC person?
Oh, team Marvel all day. We ain't even got to go no further. Like, they get it in.
They get it. Yeah.
Marvel gets it in.
Okay.
Period.
What's up? Last one. This is a more of an elaborate question. So you go to a bar, in a scenario, you go to a bar and somebody wants to fight you, right? Now these two guys are in the bar and you get to only choose one of them, okay? The other guy that you don't choose helps the guy that's trying to fight you. So it's 2-on-2, okay? But you get to choose one of these guys, all right? Are you going with Tyson or are you going with Ali to help you?
See, he might help me because he's going to talk us out of the fight. But if you wanted to get it over and done with, Mike could level the playing field. I could, with all that talking, if me and Ali talking, that ain't going to be good. If I stand behind Mike.
Yeah. Because Mike ain't going to talk that much. He's not going
to. Mike, I'm going to go with Tyson.
Okay.
Tyson.
That's what's up. I mean, like, most of the questions, you can't lose either way. Like some of the people that came on, they'll say, "Oh, I went to Ali because he's smarter. He can kind of like facilitate stuff." Some people was like Michael, and it's over. Like he's gonna do it. But you got to remember, you're fighting with them. You know what I mean? So you can't really.
Right.
So
yeah, listen. Mike Tyson will talk you out of it by just saying, you don't want none of the smoke.
Yeah, you don't want none. And
So
you be like, yeah, you're right.
And if you want some of the smoke, if you want some of the smoke, then he gonna give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, I'm gonna be good. So I'm leaning towards Mike. Yeah.
All right, bro. That's it for the rapid fire questions. So where can people find you and support your movement, like for social media and stuff like that? Where can they find you at?
You could go right to IamJuneArcher.com, June Archer on IG, June Archer on Twitter, June Archer on TikTok. Any platform. As soon as they come out, I'll just grab it. Boom. June Archer.
June Archer.
But just for the whole thing, just go right to IamJuneArcher.com. You'll see everything there, everything that is going on with me and all the brands associated with myself. So IamJuneArcher.com.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Like I said, bro, I only I pray for more blessings and more success. You know, you are an inspiration to a lot of guys, a lot of people. And when I see that, I met you, chemistry was right there, right from the jump. There's no, very like a humble, but like I said, you gotta give respect where it's due. Dope person, just continue doing it. And like I said, you need anything from me, let me know, and I will be there.
Definitely. I will. I'm getting into that season where.
Oh yeah.
Just don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for opinions. Right.
Yeah.
You get so caught up in, I have to know, and I don't want any help. That's not what's going to take us the next 5-10 years or the rest of this journey. At least not where people such as ourselves are. Right. You need to ask for help. You need to. Hey, listen. I'm reaching back so I can pull up, but I'm also.
That's the hardest thing for most. I don't like to sound that way, but most guys, it's hard for us to even, like you said, like ask for help just in general, because it's like you feel like you're weak, like I can handle it, and then it's too much. You know what I mean? So,
but you're not. You're actually strong, and you can't do it yourself. But who's to say that you can't?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Why would you want to shoulder it all yourself? But we're not any smarter if we don't ask, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you're afraid to ask, that is the weakness. But it costs you nothing but your time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I'll end with that.
That's a gem. See, that's what I mean. Little things like that gets it moving. So I appreciate you, bro. I will be. Let me know the dates and times. I talked to Demvo and a couple other people from the photo shoot. That was a great experience. I will be getting the bracelet and this weekend. That'll be a gift to myself for Christmas.
Absolutely. I'm telling brothers, gift it to yourself, and then put your wife's name on it, and be like, "Oh, look what you got me!
Look what you got! Look! What? Yeah. Thank you. Gotcha. So, but thank you for being on the show. Appreciate everything you do, even outside of the videos and filming and stuff. And we'll see you guys later. Next episode. Thank you guys. Thank you, June.
Peace.